Hello everybody, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are once again playing Chrono Trigger. God, it has been a while since the last time I had to say that, and thankfully it shouldn't be a large gap in between stream sessions going forward, at least for the next week. So last time, we managed to go back to the Middle Ages, and after a brief reunion with our old buddy, Wart, the Frog Swordsman, we managed to acquire the pieces of the Masamune, a sacred sword that is said to have the power to defeat the Fiend Lord Magus. However, the sword is currently broken, and the only way we're going to be able to restore it is to get a material that is not easily found. So, we are going to have to go on quite the little trek if we are to get this particular quest done. So, we're going to be heading back to the end of time here. As whenever we are in a situation that requires us to get some more information, it's always good to return here. So, looks like we don't need to worry about healing at the moment. And if we check in with Specchio, he's still currently in that form, so we don't need to worry about him at the moment. Dreamstone? Yes, I remember that word. It's an incredibly ancient mineral, if I recall. Have you considered searching for some in the prehistoric era? We did briefly visit the prehistoric section of the game in one of our earlier sessions, back when we first returned to the end of time, but there wasn't a whole lot we could do there at the moment. So, looks like that is going to be where we are heading this time. No, we're not heading to Protodome. The Mystic Mountains, 65 million BC. You know, since this game uses BC, does that imply that Jesus is canon to Chrono Trigger? Quite the interesting thought, isn't it? But yep, we are heading back to the past. Ah! Oh, look at these guys. What are those? This life form is most perplexingly unusual. It appears to possess both human and dinosaur traits. Got ourselves a battle on our hands against these enemies. So these guys are reptites, the reptilian denizens of this world. There's not a whole lot we really need to worry about here with these guys. Shouldn't give us too much trouble. Yeah, typically for the prehistoric enemies, you'll want to use magic against them, because they tend to have high physical defense. The reptiles are a little annoying because they got attacks that can put you to sleep, which can be not very good, but we should be fine on that account. Just love the way Robbie is just laying on his back there while he snoozes. It's a very humorous little animation there. So finish that guy off with a wind cleave, because thankfully that attack does count as magic. That takes care of those guys. And we got a level up on Robbie, and now we learned Ice Tackle. And we got Cyclone Sweep. Oh no, there's more of them. What should we do, Hayden? Death to the apes! Ah! Oh no! It's her! Ah! Stupid Ioka woman! Get her! Ah! After her! Wow. Quite right, the introduction there. Goodness, she's tough! Her combat capabilities far exceed those of ordinary humans. Uh-oh, they're coming our way! So it seems that Prehistoric Lady was able to handle a couple of the reptites for us. So I got an opportunity here. Let's show off the Ice Tackle, which combines both Marl as well as Robo skills. Very nice for dishing out some powerful ice damage to opponents, which will be especially good against the reptites around here. And let's finish you with another Ice Tackle. Not too worried about our MP at the moment. Ah! And that takes care of another battle. And Misty gets a level up. Well, what do you want? This female is in a severely agitated state. Provocation is inadvisable. Ah! Hayden! You're strong. What name? Hayden name? Good name. Me name? Me. So this character is canonically known as Ayla, and that is what we are gonna go with in this playthrough. Sorry, I'm not gonna rename every character we come across. Me, Ayla. Ayla like strong man, so Ayla like Hayden. Get away from her, Hayden. You're strong too. Ayla like strong person. Man, woman, both like. We stand a bisexual queen in this chat. Oh dear. You strange person, but strong too. That is because I am a robot. Robot? What robot? Ayla not no robot. A robot is a humanoid machine constructed by humans. What you say? No say what Ayla not know. Ayla head go boom! Hayden, where from? How can we explain? An explanation cannot be formulated within the bounds of her understanding. We came from many days ahead of tomorrow. Ha ha! You're funny! Ayla like funny person. You'll come village, talk and eat, dance, drink, fun! Thank you, but we can't. We need to find some dreamstone. Stone? Stone everywhere! Here, there, village? Ayla give you many, many stone. Ioka village this way. Follow Ayla! So yeah, we got ourselves a prehistoric woman here. So one of our new characters that we get to know in this leg of our journey. Definitely a very fun character. I love her so much. Also, I want to give shoutouts to Chrono Trigger the musical again, but for a very specific reason, and that is the design that Ayla received in some of the artwork for that series, as a lot of the artwork drawn for that is done by a user named Juno, and oh boy, the design that they gave to Ayla is definitely one that I really love, giving her a very Amazonian physique where she's very big and muscular. God, I love that particular design for her. But yeah, we got ourselves a couple more enemies to deal with as we're making our way through Prehistory here. It's all the same enemies that we encountered before when we were last in this area. It's only now we got those green dinosaur fellows, the reptites, that we have to deal with now. Though they don't seem to be around here anymore now that we and Ayla managed to drive them off. So that's good. Good work, team. Again, I highly recommend battling as many enemies as you come across, because definitely good to build up your experience during this portion of the game. Especially because we got some pretty tricky battles coming up that could really be a bit of a pain, but Not gonna worry about that at the moment. We'll just deal with these Kilwalas, which I said before are a little bit of a... I feel like they're a little bit of a mascot character within this series. So I know one of them is featured in the Chrono Trigger OVA, where one as well as a new are pretty much considered the protagonists of the OVA. Just finish off this last one. Very good. And of course, I want to gather a lot of good stuff. Hayden slow! Ioka village this way! Follow Ayla! Also, another interesting quirk with Chrono Trigger the musical is that for whatever reason, they pronounce this character's name as Ayla. And that just seems wrong to me. It's clearly Ayla. You reptite friend, I beat you up! Nah, we were fighting the reptites. Drink happy water? Drink! Feel good! Definitely good to heal ourselves up after the last couple of battles we did. So I don't believe there's anything else we really need to worry about around here. You wear funny skins. You want to see pretty stone? Redstone Chief has. Chief hut north of village. Let's go check it out. You strange. Have good stuff? No. Chief no say okay. No can trade. Lightning stun dinosaur, you know. So yeah, it seems like these guys are mainly going to say the things that we've heard about before. Eventually there will be some more stuff we'll be able to do here, but for the time being, we're not going to worry too much about this. And then at the Chief's hut, we can see Ayla here. Good! Hayden come! Night soon! Finish ready for party! Hayden, this way! Listen, Ayla! We make new friend! Strong man, Hayden! Hayden friend Misty, Robbie! Ooga! Now, dance babunga! So now we got ourselves a little prehistoric party here. Hayden, eat, drink, dance, sing! Definitely a pretty nice sight here. Good music. We want passed down many generation. Well, their music does manage to live on. You not Ioka person? Why Ayla give party? Strange. Ooga booga, manga meeple, dance with wind people. Ooga booga, manga meeple, dance with mountain people. Ooga booga, manga might, sing, dance all night. It's definitely one of my favorite moments of the game, just partying it out with a bunch of cavemen. So good. Definitely brings me back to my days of watching the Flintstones when I was a kid. Especially with just all the theming around here. Come on, Hayden, let's have fun! So after talking with Misty, she'll actually come and join in the dance. Is this the most appropriate use of our time in the current situation? Seems these two are chatting. This is wonderful, isn't it, Hayden? Let's go check in with Ayla now. Hayden, eat, drink, dance, sing! So it seems those two are just going to be chatting at the moment. There really isn't anything else we need to worry about here. This is wonderful, isn't it? I think I'll dance too. So yep, eventually Misty will come in and join in the dance. Just look at her go. Like I said before, I really love Marle's personality. She's just such a great character. Hayden, try drink. This only special time drink. Good drink, named Skull Smash. Next day, Skull feel like Smash. Ioka village fight reptite. Leader named Azala. Azala very smart. All in Ioka village fight. No fight person go Laruba village. Always run from reptite. Always hide. not nowhere village. Azala want destroy Ioka, Laruba, both. But Ayla no lose, only when Ayla dead stop fight. No more talk that. Today meet Hayden, good day, eat, drink, dance, sing. This is great! Come on, Hayden, let's dance! Just like before, we have the ability to dance here. It's a good way of showing off all the different sprite animation, you know? It's very cute. This fluid contains immeasurable impurities. So yeah, definitely love the name Skull Smash. That definitely seems like something that prehistoric humans would name alcohol, wouldn't it? Also on the subject of that, the original translation for this game, they veto all references to alcohol in the SNES version of the game from the North American localization. And so, back in the Middle Ages, the taverns would serve soda pop, and here at the prehistoric party, the natives are instead drinking pork soup. Which, you know, good for them. Always like some good food myself. Hayden, red rock look for. This rock. Rare red rock. Have rock means strong person. Ayla most strong Ioka village, so Ayla rock. Hayden want, Hayden challenge Ayla. Win, Ayla give. Hayden challenge Ayla? I mean, we kinda have to if we're gonna progress the plot. Ayla go, get more Skull Smash! Party now, so drink! Hayden and Ayla have battle. Who drink more? Oh boy. We start now, Mache, many time! Luckily, I've had a lot of practice with this when I was doing that drinking contest in the Millennial Fair. So we should easily have this in the bag. Just getting totally smashed here. No more Hayden. Ayla lose. Give rock. Hayden drink good. Drink one more. To strong Hayden. Pour! Maybe too much drink. Good morning. It appears that liquid induces peculiar behavior in humans. Morning, Hayden. Wasn't last night fun? Seems everybody already left. What made all these footprints? It's gone! The gate key! It's gone! Oh no. It is probable that these tracks were produced by the perpetrator. Attempting to enter a gate without the gate key would involve an unacceptable degree of risk. Hayden, let's go find Ayla! There she is. Excuse me. Oh, Hayden early awake. Too much Skull Smash. We wish we could let you sleep, but a valuable thing was stolen from us. What? Stole? Must be Reptite. Hayden go with Ayla. We find bad Reptite. Who else come? So for this session, we got ourselves with Ayla joining our party. And we didn't really get to use Robbie in the last session we did, so we're gonna bring him for our prehistoric adventure. That sounds good to me. Maybe village person see. We go ask. Hayden come. So yeah, if you definitely want to have a bit of a laugh, Chrono Trigger the musical, the entire party scene, pretty much ends with a lot of the characters getting wasted off of Skull Smash, and it is so freaking funny. I love that part so much. Especially the way that Chrono's voice actor just completely loses it with his impression of what Chrono would be like while drunk. It's so freaking funny. Oh, you come see me! What you have? Fang, petal, horn, feather. Give me 6. 3 each, 2 kind. I give you good strong thing. What you give me? Alright, so now that we have Ayla in our party, the chief of the tribe is able to give us new items, depending on just which ones we give. So how about now we give some horns and some petals. Trade for shaman's bow. So that will definitely be a weapon for Marl. So that's pretty good. So yep, the various collectibles you're able to get from the enemies in Prehistory, you're able to trade them at this hut for some good stuff. We got a stone helm from that. Let's see how that is compared to our other equipment. It's better than our golden helm by a couple points, so that's nice. And of course, Ayla has a stone helm already on her person, so that's pretty good. So we'll trade a bunch more items here. So we'll definitely want a stone helm for Robbie. We get a mammoth tusk there for those items. I think the horn and the feather gives the helm. Yep. So it's definitely a good idea to try and gather as many of these resources you can and try to get all of the different items that you can receive. Because there's definitely some pretty nice equipment we have here at this stage of the game. Alright, let's go for Fang and Petal next. We can get a ruby gun. So I believe that is a weapon for Luca. And let's see what else we do. Let's do Fang and Horn. We can get a Mammoth Tusk. So I believe that is a weapon for Crono. So we'll definitely want to take that. So yep, definitely a bit stronger than the Crimson Blade. Although we're going to lose out on magic in the process. Yeah, we'll equip that for the time being. Magic is pretty good in Prehistory, since a lot of enemies are vulnerable to magic, but we should still be good. And I believe there's one more thing we can get here. Potentially. Let's go for Petal and Feather? We can get a Stone Arm. So that is going to be a weapon for Robbie. Yep, definitely an improvement over the hammer arm, so we're going to equip that. Want no item? Petal and Fang trade ruby gun. Petal and Horn trade shaman's bow. So yeah, this guy will tell you all the combinations in order to get the things you want. So the last thing we can get is the Fang and the Feather. We get that, we will have the ruby vest. Sorry, I chose the wrong thing. So we want to trade the Fang and the Feather, and that gets us a ruby vest, which is going to be equipment that we can have at this point. So this is definitely very unique in that this armor has the added effect of having fire damage, which could definitely be very, very nice for us. Also, you could definitely stand to use a ruby vest. Also, looking into the equipment that Ayla has, she's equipped with a power scarf to increase her physical damage, which is definitely going to be very nice for us. So, do we have enough for another vest? Now, we're missing out on a feather. That's okay, I want to pay a visit to the hunting grounds anyway for what we're going to be doing here in this session, so we'll definitely go earn ourselves a couple more things. Alright, so back at the hunting range, I want to come here so that we could get a little bit of experience with our new party member, and also see if we can get some good equipment. So, our new party member, Ayla, she could be considered the monk of the party, where she specializes mostly in dealing physical damage to enemies. Although she also has another cool bits of different techniques she can do later on as we level her up and gain other skills. But yeah, she is about all-out offense, which can be quite good under the right circumstances. Sadly, she doesn't have any skills at the moment, but don't worry, a couple battles and we should finally get some techs on her. I mainly want to be around here until we can get an encounter with a new. So after we beat one of those guys, we can get a lot of good stuff. So I believe we should be able to... Alright, there's the rain. But how we get up there from this angle. I saw that new over there. Oh, we can climb up these vines. Right. So that's how we get up. Oh, man, we already missed out on that new encounter. Because they only appear when it rains. It's alright, we'll definitely have another shot at these guys, depending on how things go. So I'm pretty sure there should be some more enemies spawning in here. Though I think it varies. Alright, here comes the rain again. Oh god, where is the new? Where is the new? Oh, come on. I definitely know he spawned over here. God, that's annoying. Yeah, doesn't seem to be a whole lot of enemies here at the moment. So I believe if we leave and come back, that will reset the enemy's spawns. There we go. Got some more folks here. But yeah, I just wanted to come here, do a couple battles, and hopefully earn some techs on Ayla. So we should be able to get something. Though it doesn't seem like the enemies around here give tech points. Unless you battle the new. Because that thing, I believe, can give you tech points. Alright, got a good haul there. Let's just bash these frogs into paste. So while we're just dealing with things around here, some things that I wanted to talk about now that we are finally back to streaming. So yeah, there was a sizable gap in between our sessions, and I had a good reason for that. Because I had to work a whopping 9 days in a row. God, it was so exhausting. I do not know why I had to work that much. It was just so crazy, but finally managed to break free of that work period, and we're not going to worry about work anytime soon. I mean, I do have to go back to work tomorrow, but, you know, it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, hopefully we should definitely get some more Chrono Trigger streams in this
coming week. Like, my plan is to hopefully get 2 more sessions done next week, and that'll definitely be good. Oh, there it is. There's the new. So the last time we encountered this guy, we saw that there is one very important thing you want to worry about with this guy, and that his headbutt attack will reduce a party member to 1 HP. So always make sure you got a healer in your party in order to heal up. Otherwise, this guy is going to devastate you. So I feel like we're going to mainly focus on having Robbie do healing, since, you know, that is his prerogative at the moment, seeing as how we don't have anyone else with healing skills at the moment. And Ayla is definitely not going to be able to do much of anything. But as long as we keep healing, keep dishing out damage, we should have this guy down. Such a silly enemy. I love the new. There we go. Took that guy out, getting ourselves some TP. So now Ayla learned Kiss. You strong. Here, take. So that gets us a bunch of items for beating you. Alright. So the new tech we learned from Ayla, Kiss. She is now able to heal allies. Isn't that nice of her? But yeah, now that we've taken care of that new, how about we actually make some story progress? So we definitely gathered a lot of good resources from that. So we'll stop by the hut and get ourselves another vest. So we're going to need to give the Fang and Feather to get the vest we need. Thank you for that, sir. Now, that's everything we need at the moment. We could get some more armor for the rest of our party, but we're not going to worry about that for the time being. We can always come back to the Middle Ages later, come back to Prehistory later. Also want to highlight that Ayla will attack using her fists. She does not use any weapons at all in combat, which is a little interesting because official art of Ayla does show her with a club. So I guess it's implied that she was meant to wield weapons at some point, before they just settled on just using good old fisticuffs. But with that said, we got ourselves some nice new experience with our new party member. So now it's time we go searching for the perpetrator. Reptite scales cold blood, hard to beat. Reptite strong. Chief, take this. Reptite leave footprint when run. Follow print, find lair. Let's get ourselves some good items from those guys. Me see reptites come from meeting grounds. Go south. Forest maze. So that gives us our hint on where to go. Need to head into the forest maze. Oh, hey, it's Kino. Kino, what you do? Say now! Kino, sorry, Ayla. Kino take Hayden's stuff. Why take? Kino like Ayla best. Ayla say like Hayden. Kino mad. Madam Ayla, violence is never the best solution. Kino know why Ayla hit? Ayla no like Kino. No! Ayla like Kino best! So Ayla no want Kino do bad thing. Bad thing not good! Ayla. Kino sorry, Ayla. Kino sorry, Hayden. Give thing back, Hayden. No have. Reptites take. Reptite! Where Reptite go? Run trees. There. Ayla go! Kino go back village. Ayla gone? Kino protect Ioka. Okay, Ayla. Kino man. Ayla die, Ayla have baby, then Kino chief. Madam Ayla, my apologies for implying you may have been out of control. Follow Reptite, did Hayden thing. Definitely a humorous little scene. But yeah, we get to hear a little bit about why Akino was acting the way he did. So it seems that he really loves Ayla and was feeling jealous about us getting all chummy with her during the party. Don't worry, buddy. You don't have to worry about us. I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious that someone like Ayla would not be Chrono's type, you know? He's more into royal girls. Anyway, we got ourselves some eaglets to take out. Shouldn't be too hard to deal with these guys. So I believe when they turn red, they can use fire attacks against us. So that's why you want to have the ruby vest equipped, to lower the damage these guys can do. Grab some Athenian water from that chest there. And it looks like there's another good thing we can get over here. So while we're dealing with some of the other prehistoric enemies around here, something else that we can talk about. So pretty recently, what I have been doing, since I've been very busy with work and had no time at all to stream, so what I did was that I revisited a game that I used to play when I was much younger, and that is the game Spore, which for those that don't know is a game all about some pretty interesting stuff, you know? It's like a game that's very much tied to evolution and getting to raise creatures from a cellular level up to more complex beings that are able to not only form their own societies on their home planets, but eventually expand to discovering space travel. And yeah, it's obviously a game I really gelled with when I was really young, and it's been interesting to get to revisit it in these later years. Especially because I'll definitely admit that the game has aged in quite a few different areas. I mean, this game was released back in 2008, so obviously it's going to be pretty outdated by today's standards. But you know, it's still a fun time getting to revisit this game I used to love playing when I was younger. It's definitely been a blast. Alright, so very recently we learned some new abilities. We can have Robbie just go for a normal attack on these guys. So I would like to show off potentially with Ayla. Yeah, we learned a new ability, the Roundillo Kick. So now she's able to strike enemies with a powerful physical attack. And we also got some new abilities that we can merge our techs with, thanks to that. So this forest maze here definitely has a lot going on for us. There's a lot of twisting paths we need to take around here if we're going to see and get everything we possibly can. Alright, seems like everything around this path is gone. There's that thing down there we can reach, potentially, after we deal with some more birds. But hey, this is a good opportunity to show off our new skills. So, we're able to use Drill Kick, combining both Chrono and Ayla's abilities. So we just spin a powerful physical attack at the enemy. Very good. And we're gonna wait for your ability to fill up, because now we have the ability... Alright, this should be it, the Spin Kick. So that combines the Roundillo Kick with Robo's abilities to be able to smash the enemy with another physical skill. So yep, that's what you can expect with Ayla, just having some powerful physical attacks on hand. that also combine well with your allies. There's also some other skills we'll eventually get that will definitely add a little bit more to her strategies, because we'll definitely have some good potential to do some elemental damage with her once we have the right skills learned. So I believe that is going to be the path forward. And that is the mid-ether that we could pick up there. So I believe that we managed to get everything we can in the forest maze on our visit here. Yep, I believe we've gathered everything we can possibly get here, so it's time to move on and keep tracking down those reptites. After exiting the forest maze, we now find ourselves over here to the reptite lair. Alright, taking a little bit of a beating around here, so how about we use a shelter? We have plenty of these, so I'm not too worried about expending them. Alright, so heading down into the reptite lair. So got ourselves a pretty interesting area here. We got ourselves this big cavern area. And of course, we got these bugs that we can deal with around here. So these are Asaito weevils. Sure, that's a name you can use. Kind of interesting. But yeah, these guys really aren't too bad, I want to say. They're mainly just big guys that we can deal with around here. They go down in only a couple hits, so they're really not too bad. But these enemies are pretty interesting because they will dig holes in the ground here. And I believe that the trick to this area is waiting for the beetles to dig a specific hole that you can access. So yeah, definitely an interesting section of the game here. This whole area is definitely a little tricky to navigate, but shouldn't be too bad. Alright, managed to deal with those two. There isn't another path over here we can take, so we'll just head down the hole. Oh, we got this guy here. This is one of my favorite enemy designs in the entire game. We got this Megasaur. It is pretty much a dinosaur, but really, really chunky. Some of my favorite sprite art in the game. It just looks so doofy looking. I love them so much. But yeah, whenever you're fighting reptites like these, strike at them with electricity, as that will lower their defenses. Obviously, Chrono has lightning as his signature ability, so that's going to enable you to easily deal with these guys. Then over here, we got ourselves some reptites. We're gonna have Crono soften these guys up here. Then Ayla will go for the roundillo kick on the big guy. So yeah, the name of the game here is using Chrono's lightning in order to impair the enemy, and then strike at them using your other party members. Obviously, using magic from Luca and Marl is another good strategy around here. After dealing with that guy, we should now have this chest exposed to us. Let's go grab a high ether. Very good. And we got these little goobers to deal with now. So yeah, if the reptites here look familiar, the green ambler that we saw back at the Millennial Fair is actually using this guy's sprite. It's pretty interesting seeing these different character designs getting reused for different situations. I don't know if it's meant to imply that the guy at the fair is actually a reptite that managed to survive to modern day, or if it's just some guy in a costume. because we did see people dressed in prehistoric garb doing a cultural performance at the Millennial Fair. But clearly those aren't actually cave people, they're just performers. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting little touch here, getting to see a little bit of these prehistoric characters in the current day at the fair. And then obviously having an opportunity to eventually face them in battle here, now that we're in prehistory. Just very cool and a nice way to tie all the different parts of this game together. Sorry for snoozing on the job there, everyone. After being that guy, we can get a stone helm. So we can go ahead and give that to one of our girls. So yeah, you can have that Misty. I probably will bring her back into the party, considering that we could definitely use some of her skills in a little bit. I'm not too worried. So over here, we got ourselves a new enemy to deal with. Besides that mushroom guy, we've already dealt with plenty of those. But over here, we got a Bow Bow. This is basically a big ape guy. But definitely a lot more prehistoric than some of the other, you know, primates that we've encountered here, like the cave people. This one is clearly looking like a big mandrill who has more dinosaur-like qualities to him. Yeah, still pretty nice to see. Now, the deal with these guys is that they will try to attack you by throwing either your own party members or other enemies at you. So I would recommend trying to take out the smaller enemies first, so that you don't have a lot of ammunition for this guy to use against you. It's definitely a very fun little way of showing the way the different enemies interact with each other. Again, I love that about this game, just seeing all the different combinations that these enemies can do against you. Alright, so we could definitely use some healing on Ayla. She's definitely taken a beating here. Let's cast lightning on the big guy. And then, Robbie, you use the Cure Beam. Gotta make sure the Ioka's champion is nice and healed for what's to come. Alright, and you win slash both of them. Wow, this guy's still standing. I mean, he is a chunky guy. He's gotta have a lot of HP. And that gets us a save point. Yeah, considering what we're going to be up against here, I would recommend using another shelter. And of course, we're going to want to save. Alright, we could definitely switch out some of our party if we want, but I'm pretty good with this one. We got some good physical attackers with both Hayden and Ayla, and Robbie is definitely going to be a good tank and support player here. Let's go forward.
What in the world? Could those filthy apes have crafted something this advanced? Azala! And so the hairless apes arrive. Ah, and these new ones appear cut from a finer cloth than Ayla. Perfect! This should make things easier. Tell me, apes, what is the purpose of this device?
We aren't telling you shit, lady.
I suppose you need some motivation. So be it. Come, Nisbel!
Oh no, this dinosaur's on steroids! We got ourselves a new boss here, Nizbel. Like all reptiles, this guy obviously has a weakness to electricity. Casting lightning on him will lower his defenses, giving us an opening to strike at him. Though there's also some other qualities to this guy we'll be seeing fairly soon. So while we have an opportunity, let's do a drill kick dual tech on this guy. I would highly recommend using dual techs to dish out a lot of damage, because this guy can really hurt if you're not prepared. Let's go Cyclone Sweep. God, that's always been one of my favorite attack animations. Here it is. Using lightning against Nizbel will cause him to use a lightning against you as a counter. So that's kind of what you have to deal with here. This guy will obviously be weak to lightning, but will also turn your attacks against you. So definitely make sure to keep your party healed after he strikes at you that way. So let's go for a spin kick. Just gonna be hitting this guy with everything we got once his defenses are down. Alright, let's do another drill kick. Woo! Look at her go! Here comes another electric discharge. Alright, let's wait so that we can do a... Okay, we can't do our cure attack, sadly. Alright, let's cast lightning on this guy again. Ayla, you definitely need some healing, girl. Gotta make sure everyone is nice and healthy before we go back on the attack here. Actually, Chrono, you can go for that. And then we'll heal you up. And then Robbie can heal himself again after this. Or... Nope, here comes another discharge. Okay, I think I'm gonna hold off on the lightning, and we're just gonna strike at this guy so that we can get the party healed up, because that electric discharge is a pain. So Nizbel can also do an earthquake. It's not really too bad. Chrono, you can go ahead and mid-potion yourself. Robbie, so heal up Ayla, and then Ayla will heal Robbie. And then we should be good to go on the offense again. This can definitely be a fight that gives you a lot of trouble if you're not prepared for the discharge attack. Nizbel is definitely no joke. But at the same time, he's pretty predictable. Just dunking her like a basketball on this guy's head. Alright, let's do another drill kick. Bam! There goes the discharge again. Alright, just gotta heal up the party again before we strike at him again, but we should be good. We should definitely have this guy on the ropes here. Chrono, go ahead and use another mid-potion, and we should be good to go back on the offense. Come on, you aren't gonna take us out. Just zap the big guy. And then dunk her. There we go. He was big and he had one hell of a counter, but Nizbel is now extinct. And we get a level up on Ayla for our trouble.
The apes beat Nizbel?
Give thing back Hayden now!
Very well. You've won today. But know that we reptites are the rulers of this world. We'll not surrender it to you, filthy apes! No damage detected. The gate key appears operational.
Azala come anytime! Ayla no! Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have been spinning her around so much. Hayden leave? No Hayden, Ayla no fun!
Thank you so much for everything, Ayla. We had a great time with you.
Sorry, Hayden. Keto try be strong now. Even more strong, Hayden. Come again, Hayden. Have party. Drink, eat, dance, fight, fun. I really love this chapter. Getting to know Ayla, partying with her people, and then fighting some prehistoric predators. It's been a blast. Also, I want to call attention to Chrono Trigger the musical again, because I feel like if it weren't for them, I would not have as much appreciation for Azala as I do now, because I just really love the performance that Emily performs for that particular character. It really got me to love her. And the fact that the battle against Nizbel is the first time that they play Boss Battle 1 in the musical, which is crazy to think about, but it's definitely a really cool moment and one of my favorite parts of that particular video. But yep, thanks to our efforts, we were able to not only get the Dream Stone needed to repair the Masamune, but we have also managed to acquire our gate key after it was taken from us. So now we have everything we need to repair the Masamune. So it's time to bid Ayla and her people farewell as we head back to our time. So while we're just going to be on the road back to our time, what is some other things that we can talk about? So something I feel would be kind of interesting to some people to hear. So over the last couple of weeks, something that I've been excited to get to tune into is a streamer I follow called Lucagen has very recently started a playthrough of Final Fantasy X, which I am finding to be a really exciting thing to tune into. Because that particular Final Fantasy game is not one that I've had a lot of experience with, and I haven't seen a full playthrough of it compared to some other games. So it's been very fun to tune into it and get to see a lot of these moments from that game, and to get to know its characters a little bit more, you know? And her reactions to a lot of things has been very interesting. Like, there's a particular running gag where she has a counter go up for every time a certain character says something that could be construed as not particularly PC. But yeah, it's definitely been a fun time tuning into those particular streams. So yeah, my history with Final Fantasy is pretty interesting, because despite owning an SNES as a kid, I never played any of the SNES Final Fantasies. And when I got the PlayStation 2, we completely skipped Final Fantasy X, and the first game of that series I played was 12. Which, if anyone is familiar with that particular game, you know that that game is not very similar to a lot of other Final Fantasies. At least the classic ones. But yeah, it was definitely a fun time playing that, and I have been meaning to go back to 12 and actually finish it. It's definitely on my bucket list of games from my childhood I never got to finish that I want to play again. So yep, hopefully I'll get around to finishing up 12 eventually. I've just had a lot of other priorities at the moment that have pulled me away from certain games. Like, I have been meaning to trying to get back and finish things that I've already made good progress on. Like, a couple of weeks ago, I got back into playing Persona 3 Reload so that I could get some more progress in preparing for the end game of that particular adventure. And things have been going pretty well. I am on the last day of that game before getting to face the final boss, so I'm definitely very excited for that. Especially because I've been taking the time to grind while I am in the, the dungeon that you have to go through, Tartarus, if you want to train up your party. And been doing a good job of training up my team. Like, I managed to fight the Grim Reaper at least twice and defeated him both times. And now my party is at max level. Well, my main character is at max level. So, it's definitely good. I definitely feel like I've got a good party of personas assembled for us to eventually take on the final boss of that game. So I'm very excited for that. And I'm also really excited for when we eventually dive into Persona 4 when that game's remake gets released later. Because I know that's going to be a fun time. Alright, so at our current level, we now managed to reach level 20. So we go pay a visit to Specchio. Look what we got here.
What do you want? You looking for some practice?
Yeah, let's go ahead and try to fight this guy.
Alright.
So now Specchio has taken on the appearance of an Ogun. Now that we've reached level 20, and look at that! This guy is going to do so much damage. Yeah, I do not recommend fighting Specchio at level 20. He is going to murder you. Yeah, I'm definitely not expecting to actually beat this guy. I just want to showcase that he has changed his form here. There is really no reason to try to challenge this guy at this point. Wait until you're around level 29 or so before fighting this guy. Otherwise, you're not going to do well. Alright, that time he actually didn't do too much because of our ruby vests protecting us from fire damage. So that is a nice advantage you can have here against Specchio. If you have the ruby vest, then his fire magic is going to do less damage to you. But yeah, I am not expecting to beat this guy. He does so much damage. We are just going to get absolutely wrecked. Well, we tried. Ow! Hitting me with my own element. So cruel.
I win!
So yep, I would recommend fighting him much later on. Because you are just going to get creamed if you fight him at level 20. Alright, at this point we've had Robbie in the party for a good chunk of this adventure. So, how about we bring Luca back in? And we can equip the girls with some of the equipment we got. So we'll give Misty the shaman bow that we picked up. And then Luca can receive the ruby gun. And yeah, I think Luca's equipment here is pretty good at the moment. So now that we have managed to do all that, it's time for us to return to Medina Village. We now have the broken pieces of the Masamune, and we managed to acquire the Dream Stone from Ayla. So we have everything we need to repair the legendary blade. You folks hungry? Oh, sure, thanks, dude. It's nice that they can actually give you some food to heal up.
Medina's a village of fiends founded by our ancestors when they lost their war against humankind 400 years ago. Most of the townsfolk still have a grudge against humans, so be careful.
I mean, at least these guys aren't prejudiced. It is good when you get to meet some folks who are not bad, you know. Hey, Melchior, we're back. Dear me, you truly found Dreamstone. Yes, that will do quite nicely. With that, I can make the blade whole again. But first, the Masamune, and now this Dreamstone. How in the world did you... No, I suppose it does not matter. Make yourselves at home. This will take some time. Sure thing, bud. I'll lend you a hand. So I believe either Luca or Robo will help out Melchior at this point with repairing the sword. Alright then. How are you gonna fix it? So all we gotta do is just watch the process. Of course, the Dreamstone must be refined if we're to repair the Masamune. But that is not all. The blade itself must be activated as well. You work on the Dreamstone. I will take care of the sword.
Okay, fear not. The great Luca knows her way around a workshop.
So now these two are gonna get to work with the blade.
Well, better get busy.
To reawaken the sword, I must first breathe life back into its shattered remains. Yeah, I'm sure Masa and Mune will appreciate that. Alright, it's done. Could you bring me the Dreamstone?
I'm done here too.
It's got yourself a nice frothing cup of rock. Alright, let's get started. Man, now I just want to see a video of those blacksmithing YouTubers try to recreate the Masamune from this game. That'd be fun. Sorry to keep you waiting! Behold, the Masamune in all its glory!
Wow, that's the same sword we gave you?
If you were expecting lesser work, you shouldn't have come to me.
Okay, Hayden, let's take the Masamune to Wart.
So we now have the reforged blade. There's nothing left for us to do, but go return it to our old friend. So we're gonna have to head back to the Middle Ages. Hey, don't mind us just going into your cupboard. Alright, heading to 600 AD, so we can go find Wart. This shouldn't take us too long. Considering how much time that we've currently been spending on this stream, we're probably not going to go too far. Just thinking about when would be a good time for us to call it. We'll get there eventually. Let's strike these guys with an ice sword. And then Luca will go for a flamethrower on those guys. I'm not too worried about wasting our MP because we got plenty of places we can heal up once we get out of the canyon. But yeah, I have a few points in mind where we can go and call this session. Alright, strike these guys with a fire whirl. And if any of them are still alive, we'll blast them with ice. Nope. Should have expected as much from them. So how's our current equipment? Alright, actually looking pretty good. I think at this point, we might want to buy a couple more items. You didn't come all this way just to look, did you? Yeah, we'll go and buy something. So once again, there shouldn't be too many Yeah, we got plenty of regular potions, and of other things we can do. We don't need the bandit's bow anymore, or the plasma gun, or the crimson blade, or the hammer arm. And we can go ahead and sell most of the equipment that we currently have. This might hold on to that golden suit, though, until we get some better equipment. Actually, it might be a good idea to check on Tobin pretty soon. Nah, we can do that a bit later. Is there anything else on the market we can get here? Yeah, I want to buy a couple mid-potions. Considering where we're going to be going fairly soon, I want to make sure we have a good stock of mid-potions. And let's buy some more Panacea. And also Athenian water. That'll be very important, too, for what's coming up. So now we dealt with that. We should now be good to go talk to our froggy friend in the Cursed Woods. First, let's deal with some of the riffraff. Strike those guys with a fire sword, and then we'll blast this guy with ice. So while we're dealing with some of the enemies around here, something else I could mention based on just content that I've been watching. So I have taken upon myself to watch some highlights from a series of videos that definitely mean a lot to me when I was younger. Specifically, I've been watching a series of Let's Plays from an old channel I used to follow called Achievement Hunter, which, for those that don't know, is like a subset of people from Rooster Teeth that would focus on doing Let's Plays of various video games and stuff. And a lot of the stuff they used to do was quite entertaining, especially when I was a lot younger. But it's been pretty fun getting to revisit some of the content from them that I actually didn't watch because I stopped watching their content for whatever reason at a certain point. I really don't have a good reason why. Just kind of fell out of that for whatever reason. But it's been pretty fun getting to revisit their content, you know? Definitely had a lot of fun memories got to form by watching those videos back in the day. And I could definitely say that I got really into Minecraft from the different videos that they did. Hey, don't eat that guy! He was just standing there minding his own business! But yeah, it's been pretty fun looking back on those old days. So I hope that everyone that was part of that channel is doing alright nowadays. Like, I know some of those folks have appeared on some of Ray's streams in the last couple of months, which is nice to see them still, you know, coming together and all that. It's very nice. But anyway, we have finally returned the broken sword. You've come again? Hey, buddy, look what we got. This sword. No, it cannot be. The Masamune. I must ponder this turn of events. You may remain here for the night. Cyrus, you're leaving, aren't you? I am. It's long past time we reclaim the badge from the Frog King, and I need to see that sword with my own eyes. Cyrus, this kingdom has need of you. Lean and I need you as well. See that you return. As long as there is life in these bones, I shall, come what may. Well then, by your leave. Sir Cyrus! On behalf of the knighthood, we wish you a safe journey and Godspeed. My brothers, I trust the kingdom's protection to you. See that she is kept safe from her enemies. Pardon the delay. Let us be on our way.
Glenn, you be careful too.
Be well, Your Majesty. So, you seek the hero's badge, Knight of the Kingdom of Men? Come and take it then, if you can, Croak! That is what I mean to do! Nirvana, strike! I'm beaten! Filthy badge! Do not think I'll forget this!
I love the sprite for the Frog King. He's so goofy looking. And this is the only time we ever encounter it in the entire game. Gah!
Glenn, watch out!
Cyrus, your sword! The Masamune!
Is that the best you could do? Without your sword, you're nothing! Gah, you've not bested me yet!
Cyrus, I'm done for.
Listen to me, Glenn. I will hold them here. Use that chance to escape.
But...
Stay, and they'll only kill us both. Go, Glenn! Hadn't you better worry about yourself, Cyrus? I do not think you've the time to be concerned with the well-being of others. This is it, Glenn. Go! Grrrr!
Cyrus!
Run! Run, Glenn! The Queen! Take care of Queen Lean! I beg!
Cyrus! Cyrus! No!
What's the matter? Are you not gonna try your luck?
Gah.
Like a scared little frog with no pond to jump into. How about it, Lord Magus? Can't you give him a more fitting form? Very well. No act of defiance goes unpunished.
No! God! Ah!
That's more like it, you spineless wimp!
"10 long years have passed. Have I the strength? Oh, Cyrus."
Awaken, Hayden! I do not know how far my skills will carry me, but I will put them to the test. Let us go to Magus's Keep. His strength is no small thing. Do you understand the odds we face?
Nothing can beat science. The good guys always win.
So Wart has rejoined our party now that we have gifted him the Masamune and the courage to keep going. Feel like for now we're going to... You know what? We haven't had a chance to have Wart and Misty really interact, so we're gonna go with this party for now. But yeah, quite the interesting revelation, finding out exactly what happened to Cyrus and to Wart. Something I really find interesting with this game, story-wise, is the way our first visit to the Middle Ages went. How we had people talking about Sir Cyrus, and us encountering this knight who has taken on the shape of a frog. It seemed like they were setting up the twist
that Frog was going to be Sir Cyrus. But instead it turns out that he was a man named Glenn, who was Cyrus's companion, and who was there when Magus killed Cyrus. And now he carries the burden of carrying on his legacy. God, it is just such an amazing story revelation here. I love it so much. And I love Frog. He's such a great character. You know, even though I'm calling him Wart in this playthrough. But, you know, my point still stands. And, of course, it's great to have him back. So we are definitely going to want to do some good battles with Wart in our party, with the party members that we managed to gain along the way. Plus, there's also some good things that have opened up now that we have him in our party that I would really like to show off. But for now, we're going to fight a couple enemies and see if we can get some... See if we can learn some new techs, since it's been a while since we had Frog in our party. So thankfully, Frog will gain experience alongside our party, even though he isn't currently with the party during the entire absence. So he's managed to get up to a pretty good level compared to everyone else. And of course, we have his basic iron sword with him. Don't worry, we will have a better weapon for him very soon. We'll go ahead and give him the golden suit. And yeah, you can keep the guardian bangle for now, buddy. We are going to have a better weapon to give to him very soon. Don't worry about that. But for now, let's take care of some of the enemies around here. Let's do an X-strike on this snake. Just try and take it out first. Very good. Then, of course, we got some dual techs that we could potentially learn with the rest of our party here. Though, Frog isn't going to get a whole lot in terms of dual techs for a little bit. But don't worry, we'll get some good skills fairly soon. Should be only a couple more of these guys we gotta deal with. Let's go for an ice sword against you, and probably finish you with a slurp slash if you survive. Nope. I've heard of some frogs that are able to survive being completely frozen, but that one sure didn't. And then we got these guys. Let's give them one froggy evening. God, I was thinking back about that particular Looney Tunes cartoon a couple of days ago. It's just such a perfect cartoon. Love the concept of this guy finding this magic singing and dancing frog and then trying to profit off of it. It's kind of like the story of the golden goose, you know, how a family manages to come to own something that is so miraculous and so unique, and then they end up destroying their chance of being able to enjoy and appreciate it, you know? Such a great cartoon, one of my favorites from classic Looney Tunes. Well, I didn't mean to send that or to do auto battle. So yeah, there is actually an auto battle function in this game if you're not too... Well, if you don't want to waste your time actually choosing attacks in battle. But I would recommend actually making the choices yourself, because it gets you more invested in this game and what you're able to do. But anyway, what I want to do now that we have Wart in our party is I want to head back to the end of time, because there is something we can now get with him in our team. Let's take this guy out with a ice sword, and we'll finish this one up with another slurp. Blech. Still funny how he uses his tongue as a way to grapple enemies and bring them to him. God, I love this character. He has just such great animations to him when it comes to what he's able to do in battle. really love the way that they implement his frog anatomy into his combat style. It's amazing. Then we'll finish off this little twerp, giving us a raspberry right now. Get out of here! And of course, I love his victory animation where he just flexes his arm and it gets all beefy. It kind of reminds me of the cartoony animations from Earthworm Jim, which was another game I used to really love playing back in the day. I still have a lot of fondness for Earthworm Jim as a series, even if I really do not like the creator. Like, he is such an asshole. I do not care for him at all. But now that we have Wart in the End of Time, this is the first time we're actually able to bring him into the End of Time. We want to go talk to Specchio.
Now there's a weird fellow. Looks like his power's water and a frog. Who'd have guessed? Ipso facto minimo magico!
So yep, we're able to bestow magic to Wart.
So, all fortified with magic? Want to try it out?
No, thank you. I know what happened last time. We are not prepared for a rematch with Specchio. But yeah, going into Wart's text now, he now has the power of water. And unlike Misty, he actually uses water instead of ice in combat. Alright, before we end off this session, there is one more thing I want to do. And that is to open up the way to our next major destination. As I feel like it is fitting, given that we got a taste of Wart's backstory in a little bit earlier. So I feel like it would be only fitting that we continue to spend a little bit of time with him. But yep, now that Wart has the ability of water, he's able to strike at enemies with bubbles. Because, of course, that is his attack. And we learned Ice-Water Dual Tech and Sword Stream Dual Tech. So, yep, we also get some nice dual techs now that Wart has access to water. So let's go test them out. Sword Stream is obviously going to be a water-infused sword slash. So I love that, just doing this massive cascade of water on top of the enemy. So good. And we'll probably show off his other action in a little bit. I'm not too worried about showing it off at the moment. Especially because of this point of the adventure we're in. But yeah, we heard before that there was a shortcut leading to the Fiend Lord's Keep. And we would be able to find it here at the Magic Cave. If you come here with Wart, this happens. Ah! Stop that!
Oh no, it's Cyrus! Run!
Thank you, Cyrus! Glenn, there are times when a man must stand and face the things that trouble him.
But it hurts to be hit. I cannot hurt another. Not even them.
You're too soft, Glenn. Glenn, I've decided to join the knighthood. I thought as much. You'll be a fine knight. I'm sure of it. Won't you come with me? I cannot. But why? You're a better sword than I. You always have been. I haven't the nerve it takes to be a knight. In a real battle, the fear would take me. The badge! The hero's badge! The Masamune, if you please. Sure thing, buddy. My name is Glenn. Long have I carried Cyrus's hopes and dreams, and now I bear the Masamune as well. Henceforth I claim them as my own. I shall slay the Fiend Lord Magus and restore our honor! Cyrus. I will make you proud! That was so rad. I really love the animated cutscenes that they added in later versions of this game. Just adds so much more weight to these scenes. And then, of course, they play that moment as they happened back in the original version of the game. Also, I find it interesting that they chose to split up the two parts of Frog's backstory there into two different cutscenes. I find it pretty interesting. But yeah, we know that Wart, or as how he was originally known, Glenn, used to be a childhood friend of Cyrus. And while Cyrus chose to become a knight to protect Guardia, Glenn was too scared of a battle to ultimately go through with the trials of being a knight. But he did resolve to go with Cyrus on his journey to claim the hero's badge and the Masamune in order to defeat Magus. And in the end, he was there to witness Cyrus's fall and was cursed by Magus and turned into his current state out of defiance. Such an amazing character. I love his story so much, and we're only going to get to see more of him in the next session. Because, yep, we are stopping here. This has been a phenomenal session. So good to be back to playing this game after such a lengthy break. And I hope you're as excited as I am for what we're going to be seeing next. So next time on Chrono Trigger, we shall be heading to the Fiend Lord's Keep. And we are going to take down Magus once and for all. Until next time, have a good day. And take care.